Van Show. He's a monster on a mission to talk to lots of folks. The Van Show.
Hey everybody, it's the Van Show! Yay! Oh, thanks for the enthusiasm, Fernie. Yeah, well, I'm excited too, because today we have the amazing, the spectacular Miguel Briones. Say hello, Miguel.
Hey, how's everybody doing? What's up, Van?
Hey, oh my God, I'm so excited you're here.
Fernie, how you doing?
Hey, did you hear that, Fernie? Yeah, he said hello. Oh, yeah. So Miguel, thank you so much for coming on our show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, absolutely. So we want to learn about you. That's why we're here.
Awesome.
So first of all, tell us where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in El Paso, Texas, but I moved to Austin almost 17 years ago, and El Paso is about 9 hours away from here, but I've called Austin home for 17 years now this December.
So now you're an artist. You're both a musician, you're a writer. So I want to hear about when did you realize, you know what, this is something that's really important to me. I want to keep doing this and maybe do it for a career.
Yeah, so, you know, like a lot of people's careers and like a lot of people's life paths, it wasn't ever really a straight line. And so I left music behind once upon a time in my life when I became a teacher. And then I became an author after I left teaching and community organizing. And so, but my first time that I realized I loved art and creating art and music was from my grandfather. He was a jazz trumpet player, and he played music during the 1920s. And I actually have a trumpet tattooed on my arm in honor of him, and it says Inspiración, which means inspiration. And so my grandfather used to sit me down and he would play trumpet for me, and I would watch him play. And he had a Stradivarius trumpet, which I actually just inherited.
Whoa.
And I'm so honored to have it because it was the first place that I heard the amazing things that you can do with music. And from there, I became a musician. And then from there, whenever you start creating art, you start to feel called towards different directions. And so they call it different mediums. And so I got called into different mediums like writing and drawing from just becoming a musician.
I mean, I see that you brought a guitar with you today.
I did.
Could you maybe play a song for us?
I would love to.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do we have Fernie? Are you okay with that?
Oh, man.
Okay.
Fernie loves music.
All right. I knew you were okay with it, Van.
It helps her grow.
That's what I've heard. I've heard music and talking to plants is very important.
Absolutely.
Actually, not just plants. We all need to be talked to, right? To grow.
Yeah.
I agree. So I think I want to play you all a song that was actually my grandparents' favorite song, and it's a song I play pretty often at my author visits.
Yeah?
It's called Dos Arbolitos, and that means two trees in Spanish.
Two little trees?
Yeah, two little trees, exactly.
Yeah.
Dos arbolitos.
Cool.
And so this is this is their favorite song, and it goes a little something like this. Han nacido en mi rancho dos arbolitos, dos arbolitos que parecen gemelos. Y desde mi casita los veo solitos, bajo el amparo santo y la luz del cielo.
Okay, so that's one aspect of your art.
Yes.
But you are a multifaceted artist.
I like to, my partner calls me a multi-hyphenate artist.
That's right.
Yes.
You're an author.
Yes, I am an author also.
So and so you brought a book with you. This is the newest book that you've written?
Yes, Van, this is my second book. Yeah, and it's called Macho Machismo. I'm super excited about it. I'm really glad to even be on here talking to you about it.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about the inspiration for writing Macho Machismo.
Oh, definitely. So a lot of the things, you know, I started my own publishing company called No Culture Publishing, and a part of that publishing company was I was creating my own books, but I also wanted to help other people publish books like Macho Machismo, which are books about, you know, things we're not typically seeing people write about. And so Macho Machismo was inspired by my grandparents, who I just talked about. My grandfather, Manuel Carrion, was actually a lucha libre wrestler, and he wrestled under the name Macho Manuel.
Really?
He did.
Now tell us a little bit about what luchador wrestling is.
Yeah, so luchador wrestling is basically Mexican wrestlers. It's going to be wrestlers that typically have masks on, and that's their identity. And the whole point is to keep the mask on and not get it pulled off. Otherwise, their identity is revealed, and then they can't wrestle under that secret identity anymore.
So this is a story about a young luchador. Is that right?
Yes, it's about a young luchador named Macho Manuel, and what we're learning here is about what it means to be macho. So, like we talked about with luchadores, a lot of times the whole theme and the whole goal is not to get your mask taken off, but what we're trying to do is get people to take off their masks that they hide behind. A lot of times they hide feelings, and when we do those types of things, we leave the macho realm and we start to become machismos, which is another word for that is a bully.
Oh.
Yeah, and so machos are people that are kind, caring, supportive, loving, want to lift people up, want to see them succeed. And if they see people are hurting, they do their best to support them and get them to a place where they can be successful and healthy. And, you know, machismos, well, they're bullies. They're the opposite of all those things. And so the book doesn't focus a whole lot on talking about machismos because, I don't know, do we have a lot of bullies in this world already?
I think there are, yeah, there's a lot. And I think we've got a lot of examples we can look around and see.
Yeah, we got a lot of examples. And so I wanted to create new examples of what a macho is. And sometimes people want to feel macho, especially in my culture. I'm Chicano, I'm Mexican American. And, you know, for the men in Chicano culture and a lot of men across the world, they like to feel macho. But macho doesn't mean that you have to be mean or hurt people.
Yeah. Did you have an experience with a bully that kind of inspired you to want to tell this story?
Well, I was actually a classroom teacher.
Oh,
so
okay.
I taught for several school years, and so I saw the type of bullying that was happening in 2016. There was a presidential election that was happening, and you know, a lot of people were starting to be cruel and mean to each other. I started to see these behaviors in my students and even some of my colleagues that were teachers. Oh, no. And so I thought, you know, I really need to create a book that's going to correct the narrative and also correct what it is that we think about ourselves and what masculinity looks like, what macho looks like, and just how we treat each other in this world.
Miguel, that's so beautiful. I thank you for writing this book. It's super important. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I think the more of us who speak out about being kind and the bravery of being kind and the macho, as you say, the macho of kindness and sensitivity, you know, the more we can change the culture.
I agree 100%. And like you said, you know, I grew up you asked, you know, some of my experiences also. I grew up in a tough neighborhood with a lot of gangs and sometimes had to defend myself. And I knew that there was a better way to live. And I know that there's still kids and young people in their families and in their neighborhoods that are struggling with machismos. And so, you know, I wanted them to know that they're not alone, but it's also important, as you said, for the patriarchy, for men to speak up and say things so that we can stop this harmful things that, like machismo, that hurt kids, women, and like you said, everybody in our society.
Miguel, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Van. Thank you, Fernie. Thank you guys for having me. This was so much fun, y'all.
Yeah, you've been great.
Bye.
That's your